Well, I forgot that that was at the end of my intro video. Hi, everybody. It's Samantha with Missing PNW. How is everybody doing tonight? Hello, Corrine. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for sending me and Kaylia a message this week. It is May 30th, 2024. It's a little after 7 o'clock, 7:04 to be exact. I hope everybody is having an amazing week. We had a different show planned for tonight about Terri Horman and her past, but we had to cancel that. So this is a spur of the moment live with just me because Kaylia ended up in the ER today. She's just been having some crazy stomach issues the doctors haven't been able to figure out. I'm not going to air out all her information, but if you guys could send her some prayers, I would really appreciate it. She did put together this amazing live we were super excited to do. I would have continued doing that live if I would have had all of the information. She was the one who had it all, so that's why we are going to do Kyron Talk tonight. And there's always a lot to talk about in Kyron's case, right? Because there are a cajillion layers in his case. And there's just been a lot going on. I don't know how many of you are from the Vancouver, Portland area, but we are having an event. It's our very first event for Kyron, June 1st, this Saturday at 10 a.m. at Skyline Elementary School. We'll be passing out flyers. We have the event catered by Bigfoot Barbecue. He does an amazing job smoking meat. So he's going to be doing smoked, barbecued pork sliders, homemade coleslaw. We also have muffins and drinks available. We're going to probably spend about an hour to an hour and a half up at the school to talk with everybody in the community that comes and give flyers to people that come to pass out there in the community with designated areas there in the community, because we're trying to not only bring awareness for Kyron, but we're trying to find tips and leads so law enforcement can get that one phone call, because it only takes one person, one tip is all it takes. And someone could be sitting there on some information that they've been wanting to share for 14 years and just think, you know what? This is just too small, it's too little, it's nothing. Maybe they'll change their mind if they see Kyron's face there in the community. It reminds them, you know what, I should just go ahead and call. You know, Chris Madonna was on the lab recently. He's been on there actually a lot recently, but he did say something that's kind of just stuck with me. Chris Madonna says that it's usually somebody in the public that ends up solving these kinds of cases. So keep that in mind. If you know anything about Kyron Horman, his whereabouts, if you saw something on June 4th or surrounding days having anything to do with Terri Horman, Dede Spicer, or the great big Ford F-250 white truck that was owned by Kyron Horman, please call the tip line. The telephone number for Multnomah County Sheriff's Office is 503-988-0560. So yeah, just kind of really excited. I do have some information that I found to talk about tonight, and some of it is new. New to me, because Desiree Young, well, let's not get into that yet. Because we've already talked about Desiree Young. We've talked about her. And her new show that she did, her new interview. And that was amazing. And that was done over our last live. The thing I want to touch base first on, because I want to get it done and get it over with, because it's something that's upsetting me, it's upsetting my admins, my moderators, is these Terri supporters. They actually did a live. I've talked about this on Mother's Day, the same day that Desiree Young did her show with Bishop, or Doug Bishop, excuse me, on YouTube. And they attacked her on Mother's Day. They've done another live since. They are now, because they have to try spinning this narrative that Desiree does what she does, these fundraisers, donations that are sent to her, is all spent for her and her luxuries, her car, her house, her this, her that. It's a crock of you know what. It is ridiculous. And it's just very upsetting, you know, and we always feel like we need to protect Desiree, always, because who else is out there to protect her, right? People are out there saying some god-awful stuff about a mother of a missing child, and it's horrible, it's outrageous. And this is just a clip from one of their shows. It's a small clip. It's the two admins from that other group that I'm not going to mention on the Norman Nick show, talking about Desiree and the show. And yeah, just take a listen.
One way or another, they got a hold of each other. Something happened, and now, you know, all the lies are being put out again, and it's disgusting. I don't know. Coffee. What do you think?
So that's the main admin. She's the one that runs the show over there. She is saying that Doug Bishop and Desiree got together so that they can both make money. They literally tried tearing apart Doug Bishop, did some stuff from his past. They talk about it was horrible, it was whatever. Just they have to attack anybody that will help Desiree. They have to attack anybody that attaches themselves to Desiree, interviews Desiree, talks good about Desiree, because they still have to continue. I don't know what their hate is for her. Honestly, I don't. What is their hate for this mom who has done nothing to them, for one, and has done nothing but honestly search for her son for 14 years? June 4th is Tuesday. We are days away from the day that Kyron Horman disappeared, 14 years ago. And this mother, Desiree, all she has ever done is want her son home and search for him. And she has done a search every year except for the last 2 years, like she said in her last interview. But we also know from prior interviews and her car wash that she's done last year when she spoke on the news, she said that the last couple car washes, you know, fundraising money that she has done to earn money to hire a PI. Has she hired a PI? We don't know. Are we privileged to that information? No. Does Desiree need to share that information? No. Is it any of our business whether or not she's gotten that PI? No. Does that mean she's out there spending this fundraising money on herself and not getting a PI? Absolutely friggin' not. That does not mean that that's what she's out there doing. And just hearing that she's done a search every year, and by the way, sometimes those years, multiple searches for her son, it's baffling to hear that they want to attack her for the courageous things that she has done, not only for Kyron, but in other communities, for other missing people, for other missing children. It's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. But this is the main admin over there talking about how she's disgusted and that there's misinformation being said in this interview. She has no freaking clue if this is misinformation or not. It's coming from Kyron's mom, the woman that is privileged to the information in Kyron's case. Is this admin privileged to information? I think not. I think absolutely no. So why does she think that it's okay to talk like she knows it all? How is it okay for her to sit there and bash a mother of a missing child? It's ridiculous. And now she's asking the opinion of her other admin that works for her, that lies for her. They both lie for Terri. Terri is a liar. We all know the gig. And this is what she has to say.
I think that, they look at it as together they can make these funds that, both thrive off of.
Yeah. Hey, let's do this. We could both make some money instead of, focusing on Kyron and actually trying to find him. So
Instead of focusing on Kyron, I believe that all Desiree has done is focus on Kyron for 14 years. I'd like to ask you, the admin of the group, what have you done besides spread misinformation? Misinformation, disinformation, straight up create lies. Straight up lies. Oh my goodness, we've got a new member, Bigfoot Barbecue, in the house. Thank you for becoming a whisperer. Thank you so much for becoming a member. We appreciate you, and we appreciate everyone else, even if you cannot become a member. And look at what they have put up here. Who paid who? The shit show. I mean, I'm not even going to take any more clips from the show and show it. I just wanted to show this particular clip, and let's just take it down, a matter of fact, because it's absolutely outrageous. I mean, the information that they're spreading, and then their newest thing is just gross. So they've already tried a fundraiser to get money to hire a PI in Kyron's case, not for Kyron's family. Because let me just remind you, James, Kyron's ex-stepbrother, Terri Horman, those are not Kyron's family. So they're not fundraising for Kyron's family to get a PI. More than likely, fundraising, in my opinion, to bank some money for themselves, because honestly, those are the type of people that they are. But their most recent thing is a petition. Before I continue, though, I just want to say hi to everybody that came in. Bigfoot Barbecue is the new member. Can't wait to cook for all of you wonderful people. They will be catering on June 1st, Saturday, 10 a.m. in the morning at Skyline Elementary. Anybody and everybody is welcome to join us, eat some food, gather, talk about Kyron and everything. And then we can hang up flyers, and then we can go support Desiree Young, because she's having her annual car wash over at the Les Schwab Center that is in front of the Walker Road, Fred Meyer's. And we plan on passing out flyers and going and getting our car washed. Zane Lilly says here that Desiree has one focus, and that's finding her son and getting justice for him, whichever comes first. And you are absolutely 100% correct in saying so. And another comment here, Terri joins with them, bashing Desiree as well. They do it for Terry's attention. Very good point. Never really looked at it like that. And I bet you they do. Because Terri will give attention when she sees bashing going on. Because one of Terry's favorite things to do is to taunt Desiree. In any way, shape, or form that she can, she will taunt her. Zane also says she isn't on social worrying about what everyone says about her. She's busy fighting for her son and helping other families of missing missing children. Yes, yes, she is. And that is what makes Desiree so strong, is all of the amazing things that she has been doing for her son for 14 years. She could be so broken that she can't even get out of bed. She could be so broken that she can't leave her house or get dressed, but she makes it out of her house. She flies all over the country. She is working hard constantly to find her son, to be there for her son, to advocate for her son. So, where do I go from here? Oh, talking about the petition. This group made a petition, and they make it seem like this petition is for Kyron's family. A petition, not only do they want this to be a cold case or a new PI, watching over this case. They want it out of the hands of the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office. So this petition is to go to the governor to get it out of the hands of Multnomah County Sheriff's Office and into the hands of what? I don't know, state police, local police. Well, let me just tell you, state police, FBI, all of the 17, 18 different county sheriff's office have all been involved in Kyron's case from the very beginning. It has been the largest criminal investigation in Oregon's history. It has been the largest search for any person. Kyron Horman, the largest search in all of Oregon's history. And thank you for bringing this up. Mr. Bigfoot Barbecue, there are new things in progress in DNA that I can't wait to share with you folks Saturday. Huge advanced new techniques. Can't wait to hear that. Cannot wait to hear that. I thought you said DA, but you didn't. But it still reminded me because I saw DNA. DA is what I saw. There is the new DA. He got voted in. Nathan Vasquez is the new DA taken over in Kyron's case in 2025. Yay. Oh, I got this. Let's just give a big round of applause for Nathan Vasquez, the man who has promised to take Kyron's case on as soon as he gets into office. It's awesome. I think it is so awesome that we are going to have an amazing DA that actually wants to do something, that actually wants to convict, because that's what the issue has been. No DA has wanted to convict. I don't think Oregon likes doing no body cases. I am too. I am so excited about the new DA. And he's also friends with Detective Tabor. Little FYI there. Zane Lilly is also saying, yes, he's going to be so good for the whole state of Oregon. Portland ripples and Mike Schmidt's policies affected the whole state and many families. I totally agree with you. Mike Schmidt hasn't done shit. That should have been his logo over there, as far as I'm concerned. But let's talk about this petition that this other group. So they brag about teachers or employees up at the school that have signed this petition, although they've attacked all of the employees at the school, talking about how they could have all had something to do with Kyron's disappearance. I am talking this conspiracy theory that they talk about not only involves teachers and employees there, DAs, yes, DAs, district attorneys, judges in Multnomah County. They even talk about the President of the United States. Just an FYI. It is so crazy. And they're turning over a petition to ask for help. They're bragging about all these teachers or all these employees at the school, people that they've bashed, people that they've accused of taking Kyron, but bragging about them signing the petition. They want help from the governor of Oregon, even though they bash all of the politicians in Oregon and say, you know, police are corrupt, the politicians are corrupt, everybody's corrupt, and they all have something to do with Kyron's disappearance. They want to take this away from Multnomah County and say that the police are also corrupt, but they want to hand it over to another police department that has probably already seen or worked on Kyron's case. Make it make sense? I can't make it make sense. So this petition is made to look like it's for Kyron's family when it's not. None of it is done for Kyron's family. They didn't get permission to do it. The family has nothing to do with it. This petition says, Kyron Horman, a 7-year-old boy who disappeared from Skyline Elementary School, has been missing since June 4th, 2010. This case is deeply personal, and it has left a profound impact on his community. Despite numerous efforts and investigations over the past 14 years, no significant progress has been made in finding him or bringing his perpetrators to justice. Mind you, they got this idea from watching a Netflix show. I don't get it. The current handling of this case by local authorities seems insufficient. Therefore, we are urging Oregon Governor Tina to transfer the oversight of Kyron Horman's case from local police to the Oregon State Police, the state police that have already been involved and are probably still involved in Kyron's case because they don't get it and they can't research and look into their own information. The state police have more resources at their disposal and a wider jurisdiction, which could potentially lead to breakthroughs in this longstanding case. Even though the FBI is still currently working on Kyron's case, they seem to believe that the state police has a wider jurisdiction. Maybe more so than Multnomah County, but nobody more so than the FBI. According to National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, approximately 800,000 children are reported missing each year in the United States. That's roughly 2,000 per day. Each one of these cases deserves thorough investigation and resolution. Kyron's case is no exception. Leaving out that 93% of those cases that are turned over every single year, those children end up back home and that they are not stranger abductions and those children are perfectly fine. Only 7% of children, 5 to 7% of children that are taken end up dead are stranger abductions. Please sign this petition if you agree that it's time for new eyes on Kyron Horman's unsolved disappearance. Let us bring closure for his family and justice for Kyron. Mind you, again, their family is not involved in any way, shape, or form in this petition. And the most funniest thing about this is Terri Horman in their group that knows about this petition hasn't shared it one time. Nowhere on social media has she shared it. And she hasn't even signed it. And if she has, I'd like to see some proof of it because I don't believe she has even done anything or cares about this petition at all. Please click the link below. And then recently, I'm not going to go into the rest, but recently they updated the petition that talked even more about the family, yada, yada. It's disgusting, but what's even more disgusting is that they feel the need to tear down a mom who's already been broken. But moving on tonight. I hope everybody's having a great week. I haven't heard anything else from Kaylia except for she's really just not feeling good. So let's go through these. Let me just rewind this a little bit. We're going to take it slow tonight because, like I said, I'm on my own on a spur of the moment live. These are messages. We've gone through some of them before. We haven't gone through all of them before. Things I want to talk about. Some things are referencing back to what Desiree said. Yes, Terri Vasquez. I call her Terri Horman because that's why everybody knows her by Terri Horman, because she's connected to Kyron Horman's case. So these messages, like I said, some we've gone over, some we haven't. But after Desiree's new interview with Doug Bishop, some of this came to more light to me, just the information. So I just kind of want to go over some of it again. But let's take a look. So this here, just posted on the new Terri page, Turning Tide. DA's office will prosecute for all murder for hire plots. Oh yeah, there are several, as well as Kyron's kidnapping and subsequent charges for that. When we find Kyron, they want to hit her with both barrels so it sticks and she can't get off easy. Terri is going down, and so are the people who have helped her along the way. Just a matter of Kyron being found first. The one and only person standing in the way of that is Terri. She mentioned in that interview that there were 3 murder for hire plots. This post is from a few years ago. So she has actually been saying this about the 3 murder for hires for quite a while. And in that interview said that one of the last murder for hire plots that she tried against Kane actually happened the week prior to Kyron's disappearance. A week prior. And that was not Rudy Sanchez. There are 3 different people that Terri tried to hire to hurt Kane. 3 different people. And this is just Desiree posting about one. Or posting about them. And then she, of course, also mentions the fact that the DA wants to find Kyron. Like I said earlier, I really think that the DAs have had an issue with the no body thing. And they have said from the very beginning that they wanted to find Kyron's body moving forward. But all of that talk really started changing around 2016, 2017. So that I know of anyway. Desiree Young says here, the attorney does not have any witnesses that say that or police would have cleared Terri, but she's still a suspect. So Desiree Young is referring to the fact that Terri and her attorney have said that they have witnesses and know people that saw Kyron after 8:50 at the school. This is not true. Witnesses that had came forward and said that they had seen Kyron afterwards was retracted. It was retracted because either maybe it was a cell phone ping, or maybe it was pictures that were taken, or maybe because they're talking to hundreds of people. And while you're talking to hundreds of people, everybody has their own story. So after talking to all of these people and everything else, maybe they were able to figure out a different timeline. And let's not forget, these are also children giving these timelines. And if, like she's saying here, if the attorney and if Terri would have had these so-called witnesses that are credible, would Terri still be being looked at today? Would Terri still be being called the last person known to see Kyron Horman? No. That is not what would be in the media. Terri would have been cleared, just like Desiree Young is saying, and that is just absolutely not true. I don't think the witnesses ever said what time they saw Kyron. How would they know what Terri had when Terri had left anyway? I agree with you. I just know that I have heard, I want to say, one of the children I want to say says 9 o'clock. And I know Terri supporters try saying that it was 9:05 or 9:10. I don't know for a fact. I'll need to look into that a little bit more when it comes to the children's wording, but I don't know if all of them said a specific time, but I do believe that one of them did. Not sure on that. Thank you, Zane. And then let's go through this some more. So this is very interesting. I've shared this before, but it really does just put a little bit more perspective. Emails were written. Terri wrote about Kyron in emails, showing her hatred for Kyron. In those emails were written to, so Desiree has another son named Quinn, and he has a stepmother. So Kyron's half brother has a stepmom, and the emails were between Terri and the stepmom. And here Desiree Young is saying that the emails from Terri to Kyron's brother's stepmom, they both exchanged emails saying how much they hated both of my sons, and only because they are my flesh and blood. I've seen the emails and used them to get Kyron's brother home with me. Quinn now lives with Desiree. She was able to use these emails in court to get Quinn back. So, if that doesn't tell you how important those emails are, I don't know what will. And she says here, after Kyron went missing. And this is talking about an article that somebody brought up, and I do think that this is really important because we talked about Dede Spicer and what was said about her on the interview with Desiree and Doug Bishop. Dede Spicer led police to two, well, we don't know if it was two, led them to burner phones. Police found them and was able to get the information off of them. Here, Dede Spicer worked off of Old Germantown Road at West Wind Farms. And Desiree's talking back to somebody. The article is completely biased and doesn't take into account any of the evidence or police information. The property owner not only yelled for Dede, she also called her several times on her cell phone, and then several employees searched for her on the property. No one could locate her. In addition, several eyewitness accounts of Terri and Dede together blocking someone's driveway on Old Germantown Road. During that time, they were unaccounted for. They were unloading stuff out of one truck to another. To give you a visual, this road is very rural, and it was odd that a truck would block a gate to someone's driveway because they knew all their neighbors. There's more that I cannot share, but suffice it to say, the article doesn't say everything. Here you have Terri and Dede seen together on Old Germantown Road, the road where Dede Spicer's job was. Not only did the employer come out and look for her, they yelled for her, they called for her. Dede Spicer went into her work at 9 a.m. on June 4th and asked Miss Hawkinsmith what her duties were for the day. Miss Hawkinsmith gave them to her. There was a huge event going on the next day, but Dede Spicer says in her interview with Blink on Crime that she was at the far end of the property closest to the road. Now, why is she at the far end of the property closest to the road? Let's take a look at closest to the road. Why don't we? How anybody could ever support Terri or Dede is beyond me. You got that right. You got that right. Because I just don't get it. I really don't. It doesn't make sense for Dede to be at the furthest end of the property. If there's a huge event going on the next day and they're going to have vendors and they've got to set up tables and tents, I mean, I don't know if catering was going on or anything, but this event is huge. People, ride around in buses and in their cars, and they go to these tours, and they're touring gardens and wine. Yeah, it's a huge thing. And wouldn't Dede be working, doing something for the event the next day? That's what I would think. Planting flowers, hanging baskets, putting up tables or something like that. But no, she says she's working out at the far end of the property closest to the road. Okay, so let's just say that she was. If she was, there's only two far ends closest to the road. I actually took my sister out this last weekend and showed her those two places, and she thought it was even kind of odd there next to the road. And now you have Desiree saying that Terri picked her up. So if she was working next to the side of the road, it would have been very easy for Terri to have pulled up in either of these places, because there are places that you can park outside these spots where there isn't anything but just trees and road. There's no driveways to houses. There's no stop signs. There's nothing. You were talking a small, tiny little road, not a great big road with a line going down in the center where you drive on the right or you drive on the left. We're talking about a little tiny country little road. There's nothing. And when they do go out there searching for her, because of course they have to, because Dede could have had a heart attack, fallen in a hole, gotten stung by bees, anything could have happened to her. Why couldn't they find her if Miss Hawkinsmith gave her somewhere to be working that day, gave her duties? Wouldn't they just automatically go straight out to where she was told to be? And they did. And guess who wasn't there? Dede Spicer. Why? Because she was gone. I'm going to pull up and share my screen. Let me just talk for a minute so I can get it pulled up a second, because I want to find, because I do have it. I have all kinds of videos. Let me see. Okay. Just bear with me for a second. I want to find the video. I have it on my YouTube, and I can show you guys these next to the side of the road things that she is talking about. It was so nice to see the sun today. Okay, so it's in one of these that I haven't. Keep bearing with me. I'll get you. I didn't know that I wanted to show this, but now I do. So. No, it's right here. Come on. And then I'm going to, of course, get nervous because I can't find it. It is. Yep, it is. This one. Okay, I found it. Now I can come back over here and share my screen with you guys real quick. All right, I think everybody can see it now. You'll seeing strangers in the night. Well, oh, I love it. Okay, so this is Westwind Farms, and this is the property. I don't know if you guys can see my little arrow. Right directly in front of this road is the gate to get in Westwind Farms, and this is actually the corner, the far corner. It is the south corner of, let's see. This is the south corner, closest to the road. And then right behind me is nothing but a road and forest. Terri could have pulled right here and nobody would have seen it. Nobody. And then, let's see, this, I'm just going over the property, but this is the north side of the property. And it's closest to the road. And there's nothing on this road except for trees. There's no driveways. Like I said, no stop signs or nothing. There's no yellow marking in the middle to keep you on one side or another. It's just a little tiny road that goes around here. And she's saying she worked on one of these two far ends of the property closest to the road, which I just don't understand that. You know, that is what she is saying that she did. If she would have been there, though, yeah, they would have found her, right? Because she was given duties for the day. All right. So back to this. We're going to keep playing the videos with the information. I may or may not go back over and use that. But isn't that crazy? Does anybody else think, you know, wouldn't you think that she would be doing something for this huge event the next day? I don't know if that's just me. So I don't know if maybe, I mean, I'm kind of wondering what the truth is right there. Did Dede lie? Is, you know, to cover up while she was so close to the road? I don't know. Anyway, let's add this back. So yeah, that was just saying that two women were seen on that little tiny road. And let me just tell you, these houses that are on these roads, most of these houses have like these gigantic gates where you even have to punch in numbers to like get in there. These aren't little tiny homes. They're great, big, huge, gigantic homes. So all the driveways, like she was saying, they were parked in a driveway. And it's just really strange because some of these driveways aren't big enough to pull up into. There's only a few. But anyway, we'll move on from this subject. Desiree Young says here, not to mention physical evidence in the back of the truck, in addition to the fact that she can't say where she was that day without lying about the time. She's had 3 versions of her timeline of that day, why it is so hard to figure out where she was. Maybe because she doesn't want us to know where she was or what she was doing. And I 100% agree. And now we know that this physical evidence in the back of the truck is blood DNA. She says it in the interview. And I mean, I took this screenshot over a year ago and you can see the 2 years. So I mean, like she talked about this several years ago. My grandma had a farm up there and my auntie had a farm up there. Yeah, the country up there is just so beautiful. But when you go up there and you're thinking about Kyron, it really is like the tiniest needle in a haystack. Forest Park is gigantic. And you just keep asking yourself, like, how the hell are they ever going to find him here? And then you have to ask yourself, why are they looking here? Why are they searching the waters and why are they searching ground? And why aren't they searching anywhere else? And that's not a happy thought because everybody knows the answer to that question. We're not, they're not looking for an alive Kyron. And that just goes to show what we don't know in this case. We don't know all of it. We're not privy to all of the information, but obviously there's something out there in their investigation and in those case files that points to that direction. And it's really, really disheartening. Okay. And the infamous doctor's appointment. Desiree Young, there was never a doctor's appointment. She made the entire thing up. And we knew this the first night he went missing when I gave consent to get Kyron's doctor's records. So then when she was questioned, she said it was the following week to try to cause confusion and appear legitimate. But the truth is, Kane, Tony, and I never saw anything wrong with Kyron, and it was all just a smokescreen to further confuse people so they didn't look at Terri for this. Like many, he wouldn't have walked out of the school, or like maybe he wouldn't have walked out of the school on his own. All baloney. I mean, come on. She says on the People magazine interview that Kyron was acting strange and may have been getting SA'd by somebody. If you guys don't know what that means, just assaulted in some way, shape, or form, or molested. You know, she says that he would walk into a room and get all spacey. She talks about how he wandered off in the school, even though nobody else has ever talked about him wandering off. As a matter of fact, Desiree said that he would never do that because he's scared to walk off because he can't see well, even with his glasses on. She's just tried to spin so many crazy narratives with this whole something was wrong with Kyron that guess what? Nobody's seen anything wrong with Kyron. Desiree and Kane look back afterwards that last year. Yeah, he was wetting the bed. Yes, something was going on, but it wasn't anything physically wrong with him that he needed to go to a doctor's appointment or anything else. It had something to do with Terri, more than likely. In my opinion, I believe that that's what it was, especially when you look at the evidence. The evidence says that she wanted the color code system sent home every day. And when Kyron didn't get a good color at school, he got in trouble. Kane Horman has mentioned that he thinks that his daughter witnessed some unimaginable horror that day. He also talks about Terri being drunk all the time. We know that she was sleeping on the couch. We know that she was taking antidepressant and was also, you know, trying to hire people to hurt Kane throughout that entire year. We know now because of the interviews that Terri is calling Desiree constantly, wanting Desiree to come take Kyron. And here recently, I even heard that Terri was even talking to Kane about Kyron going to Desiree's house. I have not been able to confirm that. That's only something that I have heard. Is it true? I don't know. But why is she wanting him to go? What is she trying to accomplish here? But no, there was no doctor's appointment. She emailed the teacher telling the teacher that there was a doctor's appointment. There were people at the school that thought he had a doctor's appointment. So when he wasn't there at 10 a.m. in the morning, when roll call got done, they didn't think twice about it. They thought he was safe with Terri. And then I cannot tell you that I have also thought about the physical abuse also by either of them or both kinds of abuse here, Bigfoot Barbecue myself, because you have to ask yourself, why did her son leave? Why did Terri make her son leave? Did he have something to do with any of this kind of physical abuse at all? Either one of the kinds of physical abuse here? Don't know. Lots of things were going on in that last year, though. So even though she's trying to spin her narrative that Kyron was sick in some way, shape, or form, Kyron wasn't sick. He was going through something emotionally. And here you have Lisa Anderson. She is somebody from over in the other Terri supporter group that asks, just for clarification, was there a doctor's appointment the following week confirmed? And did Ms. Porter have paperwork that the doctor's office needed to fill out? Because it was talked about early on in different Facebook groups and everything else that there was actually paperwork that Ms. Porter was supposed to fill out for the so-called doctor's appointment. And Desiree says, no doctor's appointment, no paperwork. You know, these Terri supporters bullied Desiree Young so bad she left the Facebook group, and she doesn't even talk on Facebook anymore, except for her own personal Facebook. She was starting to talk about the case on a regular basis until all these handful of women started attacking her publicly in groups. It's a shame. Why was Terri not arrested after trying to hire someone to hurt Kane? It has to do with the strategy by law enforcement. It makes Kyron case stronger when they prosecute. And that's exactly why, because there is no statutes of limitation on this whatsoever. They're going to be able to prosecute for these murder plots for years and years and years to come. Until they're ready to move forward, she'll be able to get prosecuted. They can add this in with Kyron's case and, yeah, hand it over with both barrels, just like she said earlier in another post. Desiree Young says, you have the details wrong. Terri Horman tried to get 3 different people to hurt Kane. Rudy was simply the only one that got leaked to the media. And then it all blew up. Police have a lot of evidence in the murder for hire plots, every single one, plus the one from back in the day in Roseburg, which is Terri's ex-boyfriend in 1990, that she also tried to hurt, that she did against her boyfriend, typical pattern of hers. Yes. And the guy from 1990 that she tried doing this to too, he actually flew up here in 2017, went before the grand jury, gave testimony and everything, and they have that information also to use in Kyron's case, because like I said, there's no statutes of limitations here either. I do know that that boyfriend is mad at Roseburg police for not pushing forward and prosecuting, though. Like, why wouldn't you know, with these, what upsets me is if you could move forward on these things and you know you have the evidence and the proof to move forward on these things and she would get arrested for it, why not arrest her, have her arrested, sitting in jail while you're looking for Kyron, while you're doing your case, your research, you're trying to do your criminal charges against her for Kyron? Why not that? Why does she get to be out there living her best life down in California with her new husband when Kane and Desiree don't get to live their best life? They don't have their son. They have no answers. She's running around free. Hell, she could probably even hurt somebody else. Lord knows, we already know she's even threatened to hurt somebody down in California, put a knife up to his throat. So, I mean, there's that. I mean, come on, she's stealing guns and cars and everything else down in California. When is she going to get in trouble for something? It's so frustrating. Zane Lilly, I believe, was also in the old discussion group too, and she says, ugh. After Desiree left the discussion group because they were harassing her, I was so disgusted that I left the group too. I wish I still had access to the group so I can comb through it. Yep. I know that that's why you left, and I am so thankful that I didn't, because I almost did. I almost let them bully me right out of there too, but I didn't, and I still have access, and I still comb through and look through that old discussion group, because Like, I'm going to be showing here in a minute some other stuff that I found. I actually found in there. And I was like, oh, damn. Okay, great. Because sometimes you can find some really good links and some really good stuff, because this group went up in 2010, right after Kyron came up missing. And it was a discussion group about Kyron versus the page of World Soldiers page, where you can't post and discuss and stuff. I mean, you can a little bit inside the discussion, but Stacy Green runs that. Then there is this message: from the dust of the remodel and into the sky, I'm off to honor. Okay, so now I know where we're going from here. I really wanted to show some things that Desiree Young does, because she is talking about her son. She is bringing awareness for her son. She is out there doing great and amazing things. And I wanted to talk about this on a live. I'm glad I got the opportunity to do it tonight, because these are just recent things that I have recently found and I've already posted about inside the Facebook group. She's saying that she is off to honor Kyron by teaching at a CART, Child Abduction Response Team, training in Wisconsin for law enforcement. You know what? How amazing is that? She's teaching CART team training. Can you believe that? Teaching it. And she had to go to CART training before she could do that. And guess what else? She's also a speaker for these. Oh, it's so amazing. She is also a speaker at the CART training things also. She says, I pray for the strength. I hope my message is heard. I hope that my message makes an impact. I hope that it helps them to do their jobs better so that they can do more for the families to bring their missing children home. Happy birthday, Kai. Just so amazing. God bless her. Another one, honoring Kyron in Pennsylvania. On the agenda, training initial response strategies and tactics for missing children's cases. I hope for a change to bring our missing home. Yes, bedwetting is usually always some kind of trauma. Yes, it is. And it doesn't mean that it is S trauma either. Lots of different kinds of traumas can be going on in a child's life to make them scared, to make them not want to get up and go to the bathroom, or they're having bad dreams and they end up just wetting. There's so many things that can go on with that. But here she is, training initial response strategies and tactics for missing children's cases. Bravo, Desiree. Not only out there talking about her son, but out there putting in the work. Today I'm off to honor Kyron at the CART training. Here's her training. Not teaching like the other one, she's training. As always, I've tried to give back and ensure that the trauma we've endured helps others. She has taken what's happened to her and she's turned it into something positive to do for other families, to help other, when you lose a child, it's devastating. And you go into this womp, 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 womp mode. You don't know what to do. You don't know what phone calls have to be made. You don't know how to do flyers or post, the big posters up or do any of that kind of stuff. And here she is out there advocating for other families. She can actually talk to them, tell them like, hey, this is the kind of stuff you need to be doing now that your child's gone. Or sometimes people like Desiree, they even take over and do the things for the parents of the missing child. And then here you have her out there, oh, I'm sorry. I had a message I needed to read. So here, she's campaigning for a new DA because she knows she needs a new DA. Heck, We've had lots of DAs since Kyron's came up missing, and none of them have wanted to push forward. So yes, here she is campaigning, volunteering, whatever. Let's, go do the DA. And we got some messages over here. Let's see. That made me remember how James said he had to ask permission to leave his room to go to the bathroom. Yeah. He had to have permission to leave to go to the bathroom. He had to have the permission to leave his bedroom when he was grounded to eat dinner or get a glass of water. He wasn't allowed to read books or play with toys. Absolutely no stimulation going on at all. And James even said that happened for an entire summer. So, I mean, when you think about what kind of punishments Kyron was getting, you think about these emails that Desiree's talking about that she was able to use in court to get her own son back. That's the hatred she had for Kyron. How horrible was the hatred? Her and Kane would fight about those colors. If they weren't good colors coming from the school, her and Kane would fight because she would get mad at Kane for not wanting to discipline him. What kind of disciplining was she expecting on a 7-year-old? And this is a great point. Bigfoot barbecue. This is an amazing point. Everyone stops wetting the bed. Nobody starts wetting the bed. It's a very classic sight and a clear cry for help. Great friggin' point. I've never even thought about this. I was a bedwetter when I was younger. And that is so true. When it stopped, it stopped. The fact that he used to wet the bed and then it just abruptly started back up is unusual. Thank you for bringing that up. I love you guys so much. I'm so glad that I have such great people that come into these lives that like to talk. She wanted Kyron banished to his room for the night and probably wasn't allowed to leave. Could have been wetting the bed out of fear of leaving his room? ? That's a good point, Zane. I actually read somewhere or saw somewhere or somebody talked about it somewhere that when he woke up in the morning, he wasn't allowed to get up and leave his room. I think he was only allowed to sit on his bed and wait for Terri to tell him it was okay to leave the room. So Zane here is my mod, in case nobody knows, over on my Facebook. Zane, do you remember ever hearing that too? Because I remember it. I can't remember where I read it, but I don't think that he was allowed to leave his room or his bed until Terri or someone told him that it was okay. Super strict shit here. Super. And she says, yes, very good point. My little sister started wetting the bed after our physical and emotional abusive stepfather dad moved in. Oh, boo. I'm so sorry to hear that. I am so glad that I was raised with love around me. My parents loved us. Our family loved each other. It was a great thing. So I'm so sorry to hear that. And then after, I want to keep moving through these messages. What else we got here? It's so awesome searching for a missing. It's the most important thing to do. Desiree Young's out searching for somebody else's missing person. I don't know if it's a child or person here, but she showed up. She is doing amazing things. This is why I get so upset when Desiree's trashed. Just saying. She helps Rebecca Morris, one of the New York Times best-selling authors, write a book for and about her son, The Search for Kyron Horman. If you haven't read it, read it. If you need to get it on audio, it's available on Amazon. It's available everywhere. If you don't know the case, well, get the book, listen to the book. It's absolutely amazing. It gives you so much insight into Kyron's case. It really does. It's a great book for anybody that doesn't know about Kyron's case. This is the National Missing and Unidentified Persons Conference that was just this last April, where Desiree Young was the key speaker. Talked about her son, it's a mom's perspective, missing Kyron Horman. Desiree Young's son, Kyron Horman, went missing on June 4, 2010 from his school in Portland, Oregon. As the conference keynote, she will share her perspective, not just as a mom of a missing child of 13 years, but from the perspective of a wife of law enforcement officer, providing unique insight. That is huge. Can you believe, like, she is able to talk with her husband, who is law enforcement, does get insight about how the case is probably rolling, or, they might do this next with Kyron, or the case could be going here, or helping her understand what could be coming on while they're thinking and everything else. And here she is 13, 14 years later, 14 years, June 4th, still talking about Terri Horman being the focus in Kyron's investigation, and not hyper-focused, you guys. Not hyper-focused at all. They have searched and looked into multiple people. There were over 60 suspects a year after Kyron came up missing. 60, you guys. And there she is, advocating for her son. Even though you're hearing from Terri supporters that she does nothing for her son, she does everything for him. Another child abduction training tomorrow, sharing Kyron's story with Texas. So grateful for my job. Sharing a story. Oh, I already posted the keynote. And this is coming up. Me and Kaylee are actually going to this. It's the True Crime Fest Northwest. It's Saturday, August 31st. Kyron Horman's mother, Desiree Young, will be speaking there at the True Crime Fest Northwest, and Rebecca Morris will be there. I have no doubt that Kyron would love to know his mama does this for him and other families. Absolutely. I can't say that I would be the mom with that much strength. I would really like to hope so. But honestly, I just hope and pray that I'm never even in that position. But if I was, just how much could I put on my suck it up underwear? How much could I actually handle? Would I be the mom sitting in my PJs without taking showers and being really depressed? Or would I be a strong woman like Desiree? I don't know. I do not know. Brandy Neal is another one of those strong mamas. Hey, Avi, nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Someone write you up. You are fine. You know what? We almost had to cancel because Kaylia went to the ER. So this is kind of just a spur of the moment, something that I put together. So no worries. We haven't had any trolls in here or nothing. Thank you so much, by the way, for that beautiful card. If you guys don't know it, go over and click on Avi's YouTube. She creates the most beautiful cards for people. She did one for my daughter, Allison, for her 30th birthday last week, and it had palm trees and a sunset. She even sent me videos that she did on TikTok on how she made the card and put it together. It's so awesome to watch her make these cards. So if you like giving out cards for special occasions, go check out her YouTube channel, sub up to her. The card hardly cost me anything for like a specially made one of a kind card for somebody. So it is amazing. I'm members only tonight? No, I didn't know that. I need to change that. Hold up. I'm going over to my other YouTube. No, I didn't know it was just members only. I thought I clicked the subscribers only. Thank you for letting me know. I don't. Are you sure? Oh, thank you for letting me know. That switched. Which, by the way, I was already going to mention that too, because we usually do just a members only live at the end of the month, which is tomorrow. So I'm kind of glad that I switched it. Hello, Connie. If you've been trying to come in, I'm so sorry because I didn't know that I had it on members only live. Yeah, I usually do a members only live at the end of the month. We haven't gotten a lot of members, so we haven't really started that yet. But here we are. Nice to see you here, everybody. Let's see. Let me see. Right now, 30 or more people are going to come in, right? Hello, Miss Barbecue. I guess you can come in now that I've opened it up, right? Oh my goodness, I'm such a dork. Oh well, it was on members only, and it's been an amazing live thus far, and anybody can replay it. I've always said that it's not about the attention we get anyway, so if anybody had to become a member to come in here, I appreciate you. And if I didn't see it, if you're a quiet whisper in the background and you choose to be quiet, or if you decided to be super loud because you love getting attention, streamer, just hit the join button. But anyway, so let me get back to chats here. Oh, nice. Thank you, Avi, for letting Connie know. Yes, he is. Bigfoot Barbecue on TikTok too. Yes, Kaylia is coming on Saturday if she's feeling better. Ooh, new member. Say what? Say what? Thank you, Connie, for becoming a new member. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We appreciate you for being here. Avery decided to be a screamer. Whoop, whoop. That's amazing. I got to play it again, y'all. You guys know me. How awesome is that? I love my members so much. Y'all are friggin' awesome. Awesome sauce. Okay, so you're going to get Halo. You don't have to get Halo if you don't want, if she comes. I literally have had so much going on with our event on Saturday for Kyron that putting this live together, obviously, I clicked members only when I didn't mean to. And then, yes, I forgot to get a hold of my mods for chat tonight. Like, I'm serious when I tell you, my mind is solely on this event on Saturday. I'm hoping to see lots of people. I'm scared that we're not going to get very many people, but I'm hoping that the people that do come want to hang flyers for hours if that's what it takes, because I swear to you, every flyer that Kaylia made, I'm putting up. If I have to, I will. We can do this. Anybody that comes, we can do this. Seriously. I want to bring so much awareness for Kyron that there's no way you're going to be able to turn down a road near Skyline Elementary School without seeing Kyron's face. That's how I feel. And like Kaylee and I say, we're painting the town. Yes, justice for Kyron. 14 years, June 4th. I can't believe it. I cannot believe that it has been 14 years. It's crazy. So, some of these are going to have some new information. And these are what I have been able to find here recently that I want to talk about. So, missing Kyron's dad points finger at stepmom. Kyron Horman suspects his estranged wife knows what happened to his son. This is in 2010. The transcript expert, let's see, the reporter. Now, this is very important, you guys, okay? Kyron has been asked several times. So those emails that we've been talking about where Terri has talked about this extreme hate, this hatred for Kyron, Kyron's been asked about it several different times, okay? And on the Dr. Phil show, he was asked about it, and I just think that it was out of context or something when he was asked about it, and he didn't really answer the question. It was the wording and the way that it was worded. Kaylee knows, and I don't. She just explained it to me the other day, but I cannot remember. But the thing is, we've never heard or seen him say, yes, I saw those emails. Well, guess what I found? I found this. So 11/19, this would be November 19th of 2010. A reporter asks Kyron, have you seen the emails that are being talked about where Terri allegedly talks about her hurting, or I think this is supposed to say hating Kyron? Yes. Well, I've seen them. Yes. So these are like transcripts from a report. He's saying he has. What is in those emails? And again, he doesn't talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it. It's information that's supposed to be confidential to the investigation, and then interrupted. Did they only solidify your belief that Terri's responsible? Everything that we see moving forward, Kyron says, just adds to the pile. Just adds to the pile that Terri is responsible. So he is confirming these emails. And that's huge. And the way he says that these are supposed to be confidential. We do know that that Desiree has shared things she probably has, shouldn't have shared in Kyron's case, but let's just say what it is. If law enforcement holds everything to the vest so tight and no information comes out about Kyron, are we going to keep being able to raise awareness for Kyron? Is the awareness going to stay out there? Are people going to end up forgetting about Kyron? They're going to end up forgetting about Kyron. We need new information. Her last interview lit a fire under my ass. Come on now. The more information that they can give us, the better. The public wants to know. The people that have been involved, that were up at the school, the parents, the teachers, all of those people, they want to talk. Here pretty soon, you're going to start hearing about people talking. Hint, hint. Won't say much more than that. Can't wait to get busy. We're talking about barbecuing, aren't we? I can't wait for pulled pork sandwiches. On Dr. Phil, thank you, Zane Lilly, for remembering what Kaylee said. On Dr. Phil, he said he hadn't seen the emails prior to Kyron disappearing because he never went through Terri's stuff. They twist his words and say he hadn't seen them at all. He has seen them. Well, I just showed you a transcript that says he's seen them. Bigfoot Barbecue, I just followed you on TikTok. So Avery, Bigfoot Barbecue, thank you guys for following each other. That's amazing. I love that everybody, all of the members and all of the people that come in and out and subscribers, say hi to each other and like each other and follow each other. It's amazing. We will never, ever forget about Kyron. Ever. Thank you, Avery, for throwing up my TikTok. TikTok helps the algorithm here on YouTube. I don't know why people want to twist words. Words are twisted so much and rumors are started so much. Terri haters are twisting words and starting rumors all the time. You always have that handful of people, don't you? In every single case where someone's twisting, turning, rumoring something, right? You know, you even get creators out here that twist things and put up rumors. It's so annoying. Okay. Let's move forward because I'm excited to show some of this stuff. We found evidence. This is Desiree Young, May 31st, 2015. We found evidence to suggest that Terri might have been trying to get rid of things connected to Kyron. Man, I wish I knew what the hell she was talking about. Like, I just sometimes want to be a little fly on the wall in certain places at certain times to just know. You know what I mean? To just know. Trying to get rid of things connected to Kyron. Kyron Horman's mom, weekend search turned up possible evidence. So I found this very, very, peculiar because it's September 2013. And in 2013 is where we know that Dede talks about getting immunity. Because okay, you guys, this whole immunity deal that is spoken about by Desiree is really confusing. Because I did find some messages by Desiree that I'm not sharing tonight because I do want Kaylee to be around to explain things a little bit. But I did found messages by Desiree that says that at one point Dede was given immunity and that they had to take it away or that they took it off the plate for her. We do know that Dede Spicer came forward in 2013 and said she got immunity during the summer of 2013. And here's Desiree Young doing a search in 2013. And she says during a news conference at Skyline School Sunday evening, Desiree Young said a search she organized for her missing son was successful. About 60 volunteers, 2 nonprofit organizations, and 10 search dogs focused on the area around Northwest Germantown Road and Skyline Boulevard. The search started Saturday morning and wrapped up Sunday. We're not going to find Kyron if we're not searching, said Young. Young said the search turned up a lot of things and possible evidence, but she would not elaborate on what items were found. And here's the thing, you guys. This 60 searchers, the nonprofit organizations, and the 10 search dogs, guess what? I'll share my screen. Because this is the search that she did for Kyron right around the corner from, let me get my videos. I got to find it real first, you guys, because I shared this before. All right. This is crazy because this is the search that she does around the corner from Dede Spicer's work. Let me pull this up here. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Now I'm sharing my screen, you guys. And I want to turn on. Oh, I guess I don't.
At a search.
We don't have to do that. So this parking lot right here is the parking lot on Germantown Road, not Old Germantown Road, Germantown Road on Skyline Boulevard. And I knew from this building right here that this was the search area that, here, let me just fast forward to right here real quick, and then I'll back up. See the building in the background? Hold on. It'll show it again. This was the search in that parking lot. And then it's going to show that building right there in the background again. See how it's a little bit slanted? Well, here you go, you guys, a little bit slanted. That's how I found this search area. Now, let's just take you to the part. Like I said before, this sits right on the corner. This is the corner right here of Skyline and Germantown Road. There's my car. And this is just, you know, the gravel area. And let's see. This is me pulling out of the parking lot of that gravel area. Look how close this is to Dede's work. Honey, if Allison calls you, let her know I'm live, please. You barely even pull out right here. Ding. Old Germantown Road, 500 feet. That is the road that Dede Spicer works on. And it's literally around the corner. You take a left right here, and you're on Old Germantown Road. Old Germantown Road. Yeah, it is so around the corner. And this is where Desiree was searching in September of 2013, saying that they could and might have found some evidence relating to Kyron. So we are almost there onto the property. Both women missing during the same unaccounted time. Right now, to the left, it's already there. Before I can even pull in to this spot where I'm about to pull in, Westwind Farms and that north fence that I showed you earlier, closest to the side of the road, is, yeah, right there. It's so close. But I just wanted to show you guys that. Okay. Okay. So let's get back to some more of these messages. Yes, that is what she was talking about. It's crazy. Kane's attorney request, and we talked about this earlier. We talked about the fact that Terri, honey, can you take that phone call into the bedroom, baby? Thank you. So we talked earlier about Terri and her attorney talking about having, you know, witnesses. Well, Kane's attorney requests on October 9th of 2013, the court documents indicate, that these aren't the ones. Anyway, in court, Kane's attorney ends up requesting that information that Terri and her attorney have because he wants it, because if he can prove that other people seen him and Terri wasn't the last person, of course, to see Kyron, then they can move forward with looking at somebody else, right? But this is saying that the court documents indicate that Kyron Horman's lawyer requested information from Terri Horman on the person or persons you contend have knowledge that Terri Horman was not the last person to see Kyron Horman on June 4th, 2010 at Skyline School. Oh, I guess it was the right one. Sorry, you guys. Yes, Tracy. I was amazed at, let's see, Miss Barbecue says, I was amazed at not only how close Dede was, but how remote everything is. Such a needle in the haystack. It really is. I mean, when you go there and you go to the school and you drive straight to where Dede works, it's a totally different story. Like, it's just down the road where she worked. And then Newberry Road's that halfway point in between there. And we know Terri was seen on Newberry Road. So, yeah, and when you're looking at all of this and you're looking out there everywhere and you're seeing all of these deep ravines, knowing that they had to rappel down ravines with ropes, or you see these ravines and you just go, wow, just wow, how are they going to find Kyron here? But yeah, if Terri and her attorney had any information that gave knowledge that there were persons that had knowledge that Terri wasn't the last one to see him, wouldn't you think she'd give that information up? Wouldn't you think that her lawyer would get that information up to get this focus off of her, to get the focus off of Dede, so they could move on? But no. When she got her attorney the 28th of June of 2010, just 24 days after Kyron came up missing, Dede or Terri never spoke to law enforcement again. But she'll go on the Dr. Phil show and she'll go on, People's Magazine's news, or she'll go over and befriend a blogger from Blink on Crime, Shannon Stoy, and, create narratives, throw out those narratives. Bigfoot Barbecue says, my uncle hunted cougars up there back in the 70s. Oh, I believe it. Some of those areas are so out in the middle of nowhere. And I know now, 14 years later, how much more new houses have been built. So I can't even imagine what that area would have looked back then. Yeah, and Miss Barbecue is saying, like, it only took a few minutes. It was kind of scary to get from the school to where Dede Spicer was supposed to be working. Bigfoot Barbecues gave an Avi a high five here because her cards are absolutely beautiful. I even have her making a card for Tabitha right now. If she listens, she's going to hear that. Boo. Okay, so here is another strand. I already read that transcript. I must have just had this in here. I already read that one. Wait, did I go already to the end? Wait. Okay, here we go. We just got done talking about that. Okay, grand jury proceedings, because we have talked about this. So, in August 18th of 2020, the grand jury proceedings are not open to the public or the media. However, Spicer's attorney did confirm that his client was subpoenaed to testify, but did not give testimony under oath on Monday. He said she could be called back to testify in the future. Stavley, her attorney, also told NBC Dateline Monday that Spicer had been and planned to keep cooperating with investigators. He said that she had already shared text messages and emails sent to and from Terri with detectives. So 2 months later, we know cell phones have already been found by law enforcement, and there are text messages and emails that she has also shared with law enforcement. I would be frankly surprised if Terri Horman did not eventually face charges in the case, Stavley said. That is Dede's attorney stating that he would not be surprised if Terri Horman did not eventually face charges. I'd be surprised if the indictment didn't come down. By Dede's attorney himself saying that. Huge, you guys. Okay, crews returned. This is huge. Attention seeking all Kyron shoppers. Check it out. Listen. This information blew my mind because we have talked about the Jim Kelly eyewitness account of the truck, okay, being down his road at 3 p.m. on the afternoon that Kyron came up missing, and the day after or later in the evening on at 2 a.m. in the morning. So a truck was seen outside of Jim Kelly's house at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, June 4th, 2010, and at 2 a.m. in the morning that night, early the 5th. Okay. Now, we know that area was searched on the 6th and the 7th, and even possibly the 8th, because of Jim Kelly's eyewitness that this white truck pulled down there, shouldn't have been down there. We've talked about this Jim Kelly eyewitness account several times. It's a dead-end road. It's not somewhere that you should be. People don't go down there very often at all, but this same truck ends up down there 2 times. When Kyron disappears, awkward, suspicious, right? Get this. August 8th of 2010, crews returned to Northwest Portland on Saturday to search for missing 7-year-old Kyron Horman. Fox 12 has confirmed that a tip from Dede Spicer, a friend of Kyron's stepmother, Terri Horman, is what sparked the search. Search teams were seen near a field off Cornelius Pass Road. 8th Avenue is off of Cornelius Pass Road. It is about 1 mile south of Skyline School. Guess who is 1 mile south of the school, you guys? Jim Kelly's property. Kyron was last seen at the school June 4th, and his stepmother was the last person known to have seen him. Are you guys getting what I'm saying here? Are you guys get what I'm saying here? I have always said that this truck that was seen had something to do with Kyron. It is too friggin' suspicious, right? Too friggin' suspicious. This search is done on Jim Kelly's property again. Now, I wasn't going to include a blogger wrote something that was also in with all of this information. I like this kind of information because you can see right here at the bottom, there's actually a website to kptv.com news. Even though that may come up as a 404 error, now you can say that you know that this is legit and this did happen. But this blogger ends up writing and talking about the fact that they believe that this is where these phones were found. Just saying. What? That phones were found here. That they found something here. Dude, blown away. Halo! Halo's here. It's okay that you're late. I so totally forgot to send my mods messages because I have so much going on with this event going on Saturday for passing out flyers for Kyron. But this is huge, you guys. This is huge. So, yeah, AV is saying, stop it. Oh my God. Yeah. Like, mind blown, Avery, me too. They searched there again, and it had something to do with Dede. So what the hell? So we're right. Does anybody want to see it? Because I've got it. Let me go over here to my YouTube channel because I want to show you guys. I want to show you guys this Jim Kelly account. Did I even put it up yet? Let me see if I have it. Let me find it. Hold on. Gonna look through my video files, my Kyron Horman video files. Let's see. And I got a big file on Kyron. Let's see. We got. Oh yeah, I do. It may not be a good one. I don't know, but I'm throwing it up. It says Jim Kelly, so here we go. So I'm not going to play that, but I am going to play this video. I just pulled off of Cornelius Pass Road to come down 8th Avenue, okay? This is what the road looks like. It's very bumpy. You know, there was people that went down in a Jeep after Kyron came up missing because they wanted to see this eyewitness account. They said that these bushes were just like growing over the road. I mean, right here in front, right here, you actually have a spot where you could turn around if you were lost, if you didn't know. And that's where it is. Oh, this has got some information about. So this is continuing down the drive. This is just one of my old videos, but I want to show you guys. I am just shocked that I found this information. So in August, they go down here and they search again Jim Kelly's road because of something that Dede told them. So that truck that went down there, you guys, had something to do with it. I know I'm repeating myself. Forgive me, but come on. When you know you're onto something and you have a gut feeling and you've been following it since the moment you heard about that eyewitness account, and you can actually go, hot damn. Yep. Whoop, whoop. I knew it had something to do with it. And my gut has never let me let this go. I can't tell you guys how many times I've been down 8th Avenue, video recording it, walking down there, seeing things. It was just so suspicious that a truck would be down there not once but twice when Kyron came up missing. And that this is literally around the corner from the Horman home. And when I say literally, I have a video. It took me a minute to get to Kyron's driveway from 8th Avenue. That's how close it is. Me and Kaylia have speculated on whether or not Dede had to come down this road or somebody they were working with had to come down this road to talk on the phone with Terri with a burner phone because maybe they had lost service or something. I don't know. Avery agrees with me. It's huge. Halo art's like goosebumps. It is crazy. I mean, I cannot tell you guys how many times I've talked about this road, and to find out that there's actually a connection, mind blown. Mind blown. So, yeah, this is 8th Avenue. What are you doing down here? You're not doing anything. You know what I mean? Why are you going to come down this road? And I mean, wow, you went down this road and they got rid of something. Was it the burner phones? Did they find something else? Is this more of that information they're holding close to the vest that we don't know about? Because there are potholes, trees grown over. There's no reason for you to be down here. There's really just no reason for you to be down here. And then when you get to the end here and back up on Cornelius Pass and you take a right, you're a minute away from the Horman's house. It's crazy. And we know it can't be Terri. 3 a.m. she's at home. She's about to go, get Kyron off the bus, supposedly, at 3:30 with Kane and the baby. At 2 a.m. in the morning, law enforcement's at their house. She ain't going anywhere. She's being watched like a hawk already because her story didn't jive about the doctor's appointment. So somebody was down this road and had something to do with something. I don't know that there's wells out there. All I know is there's railroad tracks behind that bushy area behind there, and there's just a lot of like this. It's like almost like a field, kind of like what that is describing, that they're searching in a field. Yeah, why did they have burner phones? You would tell me. They had burner phones on the 4th when Kyron disappeared. And when Dede went to stay with Terri for 11 days, they had burner phones then. Someone came forward, told law enforcement that they had purchased burner phones with cash and in a fake name, and then also say that the next day 2 more were bought, but she didn't have anything to do with it. So Dede and Terri probably went down Bigfoot barbecue. That's crazy. Yeah. I'm glad I've never let this go. And then I have constantly searched. This is, let me pause that again. I can go right back here. Where was that? Oh, I'm just showing here. If you can see the red down here, this is how close it is, you guys. This is how close it is. I forgot that I threw this. So right here to the right there was 8th Avenue, because I had to connect an old video with a new video because that's how many times I've been out there. And you take a right off of 8th Avenue and you cruise around and you go around this corner to the left and you're on Sheltered Nook Road. Sheltered Nook Road. Right? The same road to get to Kyron's house. There's the sign for Sheltered Nook Road. Boom, shakalaka, right there. Take a left. And you're there. And it's just right up. Oh my God, it's so close. I just have never been able to get over it. So this is how close it is to Kyron's house. It took me, I think, just a few seconds after, like a minute of going, and we're almost to Kyron's house. That's how close it is around the corner. And then you have to ask yourself, if she was throwing out those burner phones right then and there, was she making a phone call like, okay, I'm getting rid of the phones now? Because we know that, okay, this truck is seen at 2 a.m. down there, right? Guess what happens at 2 a.m.? That's when the call comes, when Dede, Desiree and Tony have to go up to the school and talk. They find out at 2 a.m. that they've got to go up to the school, and they're there by 3 a.m. in the morning. So when this truck is there, did Terri know earlier that Tony and Desiree were going to be gone? Is that why that's done at that particular time? Did they have to have a phone conversation of some sort before she gets rid of these phones? I don't know. Halo lives up in Morton on a beautiful piece of land. Beautiful piece of land. Okay. And then let's go over. So, yeah, huge information. I think that was like my biggest piece of information that I had to share with you guys, that, and I am going to read that blog to you guys eventually, but I just couldn't find the rest of it tonight. Day 3, FBI calls in criminal profiler in search for missing Skyline boy. This talks about the search. Kelly, who lives about a mile and a half downhill at the end of a winding, secluded country lane off Cornelius Pass, said police, federal agents, K-9 teams, and helicopters scoured the area Saturday. We had 2 odd sightings of a vehicle on our road Friday, Kelly said, around 3 p.m. He said a neighbor reported seeing a white pickup truck with a female driver pulled to the end of the long road, idle, and then turn around. Then again at 2 a.m. Saturday morning, a similar white truck appeared, idled, and when a neighbor loosened her dog, it eased away. A, it was strange to have a car there, any car that we didn't know. And B, it was strange to have a vehicle come up our dead-end road twice in the same day, hours after a little boy goes missing, said Kelly. That's beyond rare. Because you got to know, he may have had this 3 o'clock time wrong, even a little bit, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, even an hour. He could have had it wrong. I know when I garden, I lose track. But that 2 a.m., you know damn well he knew that, because his ass probably rolled up out of bed and said, who the hell is here in front of my house at 2 a.m. in the morning, right? You're going to look at the clock. You're going to know it's 2 a.m. He calls the police. They're out there searching. Oh, we got Bigfoot Barbecue talking about Sasquatch. So, Kane's attorney, Peter Peter Engel. Miss Horman has been in seclusion for 3 years. She refuses to cooperate with law enforcement. She intends to exercise her privilege against her self-incrimination. She has not contested the FAPA order since it was originally issued in June of 2010. She has chosen to forego a relationship with the party's daughter, Kiara, now 4 years old. This was just kind of confirming the fact that Terri gave up seeing her daughter to not have to talk about Kyron. To just not have to talk to him, she gave up her own daughter. Halo has the Sasquatch hat on. And then August 15th of 2012, this is pulled from a video and newly released transcripts from a June hearing. Kyron's father says that police now have mounting evidence against the boy's stepmother. It significantly strengthens their belief that she had involvement. There's always talk about how there's no evidence, that there's no proof that Terri did anything, but yet we hear and see so much all the time, and even still find new articles and new clips, new transcripts, new this, that say exactly that there is some kind of evidence or something was found. Excuse me, want to take a drink? So here's Kyron Horman in an affidavit. Law enforcement officials have informed me that more than one circuit court judge has determined probable cause exists to implicate respondent, which is Terri Horman, in Kyron's disappearance and in the murder for hire plot. Respondent and her lawyers are also aware of this. Never seen this before, guys. Never seen it. Found it in that old discussion group this last week when I was trying to help Kaylia research for her live show. Let me read that again. Law enforcement officials have informed me that, and this is Kyron Horman speaking, that more than one circuit court judge, not one, more than one circuit court judge has determined probable cause exists to implicate Terri Horman in Kyron's disappearance and in the murder for hire plot. Respondent and her lawyers are also aware of this. It is insane, and it does scream. It screams guilty. And then you have to ask yourself, why, oh, why hasn't Terri been arrested? Right? What the hell then? What the hell? I mean, why not just arrest her for the murder for hire plots, right? If they don't want to prosecute without a body. Oregon only has 3 cases, no body cases. They are very, very, very wishy-washy on doing these court cases without a body. Ooh, Kelly Guyma's here. Have you been in the bushes tonight, girlfriend? Wow. So not only a judge, but her own lawyer. Why is she walking free? You tell me, Kelly, because I don't have a clue. Why are the 4 suspects in Michael Vaughn's case still walking free? There's another question. Kelly Dime is very close with Brandy Neal. Thank you for being here, Kelly. It's nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah. And it says not only one judge, it says more than one circuit court judge. What? Never saw this before. I watched Dr. Phil tell Terri, Mr. Bigfoot Barbecue says, I watched Dr. Phil tell Terri that she's the first person in decades that refused his help by not taking a professional lie detector test for free. She's never going to do that. She's already failed 2 and walked down on 3rd. Thank you guys for being so nice with each other. Welcoming everybody in. Thank you for the new members tonight. You know, sometimes these spur of the moment lives are really good. Just saying. I love it. I was a little bit nervous doing it by myself. It's been such a long time. I don't normally have to do these by myself. I started doing them by myself, and then me and Kaylee started. So, you know, it gets me a little bit more like nerve-wracking sometimes. So this one, according to Kane, they are waiting. We have a host of MCSO and FBI investigators still standing by with interviews and polygraphs when someone actually wants to cooperate. Feel free to stop by. They are waiting still. This was Kyron Horman's response to Terri being on the Dr. Phil show and going on People Magazine show, because it's like, why are you up there talking? MCSO and the FBI investigators are still standing by with interviews and polygraphs when someone actually wants to cooperate. Meaning, stop going out here and doing all these other interviews. Come talk to the police, Terri. Come talk to them. Come talk about Kyron. Maybe you'll actually get a chance to see your daughter. She's never going to. Thank you, Connie. Thank you very much. It's hard not to go back and forth with someone and, you know, feel like you got to keep things kind of like going, I guess. But when you guys are here and I have like such great members and such great people that come into the chat, it's amazing because you guys keep talking. You guys keep bringing stuff up. It gives me stuff to talk about. I just love seeing your face here, Callie. It's been a minute. I know Brandy's been really, really super quiet lately. Let's see. And let's go forward here. So, Little Boy Lost was a show that was done. Dateline NBC. I believe that this was taken from out of there. Tony and Desiree say the biggest question marks revolved around Terry's whereabouts that morning that Kyron went missing. Desiree Young, she couldn't explain to them for about 2 hours worth of her time where she was or what she was doing. And see, this is in July 26th of 2010 when they get footage from the gym, and we know that she didn't get to the gym at 11:39. She actually got there at 12:20. Here, Desiree is saying 2 hours worth of time, but now you can add even almost a whole nother hour to that time. Terri was actually missing almost 3 hours, and we know from newer news reports that Dede was missing for up to 4 hours. 4, you guys. And there was something else that gave Desiree and Tony a seeking feeling that something wasn't right. They say Terry's cell phone records apparently didn't match up with where she said she was on the morning of Kyron's disappearance. Cell phone records apparently didn't match up with where she said she was on the morning of Kyron's disappearance. Tony Young, he's from law enforcement, he says that's huge. There's starting to be some structural problems with what she's saying at that point. And then it continues to stack up. Here you have a man that looks into, he investigates murders. He was in one particular case that's talked about inside the book Boy Missing. They were looking and searching for a person, a body of this person. They had done several different searches, looking everywhere and everything else. And guess what? Ends up being just hundreds of yards away from like a person's home where they had already had like their person of interest or whatever. It was literally right there. Right friggin' there. Under their noses. And the fact that he talks about this case and the way he talks about it really says something to me. Yeah, we all always sending prayers for Brandy and hoping that she's doing fine, that the family's doing well. Just been laying low lately. I'm always around. Are you lurking? You can lurk. That's okay. I lurk all the time. Thank you, Bigfoot Barbecue. This is fun and important. You do a fantastic job. Thank you. That means a lot. I do find these kind of lives more fun when you're just engaging with the people in the chat and stuff and just randomly talking about just a bunch of different stuff. Because I found all of these last week and I've been wanting to talk about them, and I shared them with the admins and mods on my Facebook, and I'm just, because some of the stuff I'd never heard before. So yeah, it's crazy. So Chief Deputy DA, another DA in his case, Don Reese, because Kyron Horman is the victim of an apparent crime against his own. Okay, let me reread this because I think I said Kyron. Because Kyron Horman, get this, you guys, is a victim. And this is the DA saying this, okay? Because Kyron Horman is the victim of an apparent crime against his own child. He has legal right to information about his missing son. So, this is saying that Kyron Horman has even more privy. He's even more privy to the information in his son's case because he's also a victim. Because why? Oh my gosh, you guys, I just had a brain. Wow. Does that not make sense, you guys? Holy shit, I love when this happens. So that's why they're tying the murder for hire plots and Kyron together. Okay, this makes sense because he's also a victim, because this plot to hurt Kyron and the plots against him are all the same. If you look at it that way, and why haven't I ever looked at it like that? I wanted to separate the two, but they're not. She's plotting these things together. Oh my God, how did I not get this before? I have always tried to separate the two in two separate. Wow. This is huge in my mind. Just going to say. So it says he has legal right to information about his missing son. The fact that law enforcement has necessarily conveyed this information to Kyron Horman does not waive the long-standing and well-recognized privileged and confidential nature of information relating to a pending criminal investigation. Kyron Horman should be prohibited from answering any questions about law enforcement's methods used to investigate his son's disappearance, physical evidence gathered, witnesses' statements, or questions asked by law enforcement, or whether he has testified before a grand jury. What? I didn't read all this beforehand, you guys, and now my brain is going, holy shit. Wow. Yes, she wanted them both to disappear. It was all one great big huge plot, one great big scheme. I can't try to separate it. In my mind, I was separating the two. Yes, both of the victim or both of the parents are victims, but Kyron is a victim because he had 3 different murder for hires against him by 3 different people that she tried to get to hurt Kyron. Terri tried to have 2 people hurt and never got in trouble for it. Yeah, isn't that just? It is mind-blowing. It is so friggin' mind-blowing. This is crazy. I have to read this again, you guys. So, because Kyron Horman is the victim of an apparent crime against his own child, he has a legal right to information about his missing son. The fact that law enforcement has necessarily conveyed this information to Kyron Horman does not waive the long-standing and well-recognized privileged and confidential nature of information relating to a pending criminal investigation. Kyron Horman should be prohibited from answering any questions about law enforcement's methods used to investigate his son's disappearance. So it sounds like maybe Terri and her attorney were trying to ask him questions. Physical evidence gathered, witness statements or questions asked by law enforcement, or whether he has testified before a grand jury. See, that just tells me Terri and the lawyer were wanting something out of Kyron and started playing shenanigans, and this gets brought up. Like, this is the DA. Oh my God. He is very lucky to be alive. All of the people that she's tried to hurt are lucky to be alive. Yes, they are protecting him. Yeah, my mind. I can't wait for Kaylee to explain this to me a little bit more. I don't understand all the legal mumbo jumbo as well as she does, but I think I got it. The search for Kyron. Boy, Kyron Horman. Let's see. This is a video. The picture of Kyron beaming proudly in front of his project, the red-eyed tree frog, was taken by his stepmother, Terri, just minutes before he vanished. This again is confirming what Desiree keeps telling everybody, that this picture was taken right before they left the school, between 8:45 and 8:50. It is time-stamped. Desiree says they know for a fact. Honestly, you have to ask yourself if this was her way of like having a trophy. I mean, in my opinion, I'm starting to think maybe yes, because she goes around showing this picture of Kyron to everybody when she knows the doom. She knows what is going to or what has already happened to Kyron as she is showing this picture. Do you know that my mod inside the Facebook group, now we have not been able to confirm this or not, okay? She found somebody talking in YouTube comments about Terri Horman being at the gym that day. So we know that that's the last thing she did before she went home, right? This person is saying that Terri looked like she was lost in her mind, like she was not herself. You know how, like, if you can even relate or put yourself in that position, I'm sure you can at least visualize it. But if you had just harmed or done something horrible to a person, especially a child, your state of mind, this kind of like shock factor that you would be in afterwards, because now everything, oh my God, I just did that. Oh my God, am I going to get in trouble? Am I going to get caught? Am I going to end up in prison? What's going to happen to me? Should I go back and make sure that everything went fine? Blah, blah, blah. Like 1,000 cajillion things going through your mind, right? Because this is what you just did. And now you're just, whoa, that just happened. And yeah, this guy's like, I witnessed, he said he was, an employee at the gym and witnessed Terri while she was only there, 15 to 18 minutes, according to Desiree Young. She was not there long and she didn't even work out, but she was just in this dazed and confused, weird state of mind. Okay, so. Yeah. Thank you, Zane. Yeah, I think the way they wrote it was that she was shaken up or something along those lines. Yeah, and you would be, right? Like you would be like dazed and confused and in shock and in whatever. I mean, unless let's just face it, there are killers out there that can do it, turn around and walk off and be perfectly friggin' fine, right? Like, who's to say? But yeah, we talking about it. We don't know that it's true or not being able to verify. It's all I can really say about it. But the thought of what the person said just kind of fits it, don't you think? Yeah, she was only there for an alibi. She was only everywhere for an alibi that day, showing Kyron's picture to everybody, everywhere she went. Yeah. It was so people would remember seeing her that day because she showed them a picture of Kyron. It actually turned out to be one of her biggest mistakes, in my opinion. Matt Shelby. Never saw this before till this last week. I've only heard of the bus driver witnesses seeing Kyron leave. Witnesses, I know that there were several different witnesses that went and testified before the grand jury. You know, there was legal document put out there, like you weren't allowed to be recording. You know, news couldn't record people coming in and out. We do have some that got away with it. Don't know how, but they did. But this is new information to me. Matt Shelby on June 21st, 2010, 2 teachers were the last school staff to see Kyron at Skyline. His own teacher and another teacher saw him inside the school with his stepmother, and there didn't appear to be anything out of the ordinary. So, yeah, this is, you know, before he leaves. They see him. There was another one. I don't know if I added it. I don't think I could find it. Oh, yes, I did. Here it is. Matt Shelby, June 7th, 2010. This is, so the other one came after this. This is his first original statement. Portland Public School spokesman Matt Shelby said 2 teachers saw Kyron with his stepmother and thought the 2 left school together. Thought that the 2 left school together. He said it was common for parents to pick up kids this way, so no suspicions were raised. And you just heard from the last thing that I just read that was Miss Porter and another teacher. So, yeah. I had never read these statements by Matt Shelby. Okay, so this is going... That is the information that I have for everybody tonight. What do we got going over here? Yeah, I think the way she wrote it, she was the only one there for an alibi. Bigfoot Barbecue is agreeing with Halo, and Avi is also agreeing, because it is true. That is what she was doing. She was trying to create an alibi, and it ended up biting her in the ass, right? This picture... I'm going to throw up the banner again because, like I am, you know, like I've always said, doesn't matter what tip you have. Could be the tiniest tip. Could be something even bigger than that. Maybe you've been holding it in for a long time. You're not sure if you want to talk about it. Let me tell you, if you know anything whatsoever, whether you think that law enforcement should know about it or not, you should really call the tip line. Multnomah County Sheriff's Office phone number is 503-988-0560. And there is never a tip that's too small. People like us break these cases all the time. It's only going to take one phone call. Just one. Just one phone call. That's why our event on Saturday is so important. So 10 a.m. in the morning, Skyline Elementary School in Portland, Oregon. We're there. We'll be passing out flyers to people to pass out around the area. We're gonna help find this person to give this one tip, this one lead, this one thing that law enforcement needs to crack the case. That's what it's all about. And it's also to help bring awareness for Kyron. So we don't forget about Kyron. So the community doesn't forget about Kyron, because Nathan Vasquez, the new DA, he isn't taking over till 2025. Okay. So we have to keep Kyron going. We have until he takes over, and then we got to keep helping, because when and if this does go to court and Terri is arrested, and maybe even Dede, come on, we all know they're gonna need all the support that they can get. And guess what that means? That means that the community has to be involved, cannot let people forget about Kyron's case. We're going to be doing a live next week that Kaylee threw together. It's unfortunate that she got sick tonight. We're definitely going to be doing something on June 4th. 14 years to the date that Kyron Horman came up missing. Not sure. I've literally thought about doing something like this, but doing it all day. Doing it all day long. I know some people got to work. This is what I do for my work. But I'm thinking about doing a live from the time I get up for hours and hours and hours and hours. Just throwing up whatever kind of information that I can and just talking about it. I don't know. We will see how it goes. I'm just hoping that Kaylee feels better so she can be at our event on Saturday. I know you wish you could come, and it's okay that you can't. You do so much for Michael, posting in his Facebook group, and thank you for being here and being our mod. Thank you to all of my mods for being here. Yeah, I just absolutely love everybody that comes into my chat. Whether you're a member or not, doesn't matter to me. I'm just glad to see you here. If you guys want to throw up some green and blue hearts and some frogs for Kyron, like Bigfoot Barbecue is saying, we need people to come to this. I've been sharing it everywhere. I actually joined a Multnomah County group today to share it there. I tried to get the Sauvie Island group to share it over there. I'm hoping it just really turns out. And you know what? Like I said, even if people don't come, even if it doesn't turn out to be as big as what we would hope it would be, it doesn't mean those flyers aren't going up. It doesn't mean that the town ain't going to be painted with Kyron Horman flyers, because they will, because I am bound and determined, because Bigfoot Barbecue, Kaylee and Heidi and other people in the community that I know that are going to be there are going to be there and coming. And yes, get well, Kaylee, sending out prayers. Thank you for the love for Kyron. We love him so much. We pray all of the time for his mom, for his dad, his family, his little sister, his half brother. I hate saying half. I'm sorry. Quinn. I mean, we're going out. We're doing it. These flyers are going up. The awareness is going to be there. That, yeah, we are keeping his name out there. You know, Desiree doing that interview with Doug Bishop, new information, lit a fire under my ass. And I'm just telling you now, I'll stay out all night long if I have to pass them all out. I will. And I'll still go get my car washed at Desiree's Car Washed off of Walker Road there. You can see that information on Kyron Horman World Soldiers on her Facebook group. Stacy Green always helps Desiree Young put those together. Don't, listen to the lies and the misinformation. Yes, I would really like to drive down, but I am having horrible swelling in my feet and legs, and I'll be out there. I would be out there in a heartbeat. You will be with us in your heart. I know that. So no worries. No worries. I appreciate you guys so much for being here tonight. Prayers to Kaylee. Prayers for Kyron. I'm going to leave here playing a video for Kyron. Thank you guys for being here, and thanks for the new members. Thank you guys so much for becoming members. And like I always say, you don't have to become a member. Just show up and be here for Kyron, be here for all of these kids, and just know that we love you. You guys are like our family now. And yeah, we wouldn't have it any other way. I want you guys to have a very good weekend. Be safe out there. Hopefully, by the way, just to let everybody know, if the service is good at Skyline, I am going live for our event. So just keep an eye out. I don't know How that's going to work, we will see. But I am definitely going to try to go to work. I even got a selfie stick today. Never used one my entire life, but I might just have to try. Thank you, Avi, so much, and all my mods for being here. I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, being good to one another. The world needs more people like my chat. Hopefully, we can go live at our event. Hope everybody has a good night. We love you. Have a good one.